I wasn't recording that entire time. Like, I got a good 5 minutes into recording this one and realized I wasn't recording. My name is Jaron Pierce. I'm 18 and I just moved out to LA to pursue a career in film. February 24th, because I'm having to like play catch up with myself. February 24th is the day that I packed my car and moved out here. So I packed up my little Kia Soul the night before. So on the 23rd, my friends helped me pack up my stuff, and I got it all put in like these pizza boxes from the place that I was working at. I got a bunch of boxes and I packed up my car, and then I went and got my brother and we started driving on the 24th, and we drove to Nebraska was our first stop. And it was super boring from Ohio to Nebraska, so nothing really interesting happened. Only had to stop for gas a couple of times. And oh, a good thing to note, if you're ever driving across the country, half is your new empty. So every time we would get to half, I would just like find a gas station, because there's some points on the drive where like there's not shit for miles. There's like nothing. But so yeah, fill up at half a tank if you're driving across the country. So yeah, nothing interesting happened our first night. We get to Nebraska, we go to in our hotel and we just go to sleep. So like literally it was just driving for 10 hours was our first drive. Nothing but cornfields and nothingness for 10 hours straight. We woke up the next day, checked out of the hotel, got back down to the car, and the thing that saved me that first day was the fact that I didn't have to stop for food a lot. So I like packed food, these little like sliders things, and just packed those so I didn't have to stop for food, and we literally only had to stop for gas that entire time. But anyway, we wake up the next day and we're going to Colorado. Colorado's our second stop, and it's only 6 hours from where we were at. So it was a super easy drive. Again, as long as we had good music, which shout out to my friend for making me a playlist to listen to the entire time. And then we had good snacks, and so we didn't have to stop for food very much. And just taking a good amount of breaks kind of helped me, because I was driving the entire time and my car doesn't have cruise control. So like my ankle was hurting about midway through this trip. But anyway, we get to Colorado and I'm starting to see all the mountains, and this is where I get excited, because this is like Colorado is somewhere where I've always wanted to go. So we get to Colorado and I'm starting to see all the mountains and I get really excited, and we get into our hotel. The hotel in Colorado was actually really nice. I forget the name of it. I think was it a Marriott? I don't know. I might be able to put a picture or something up. It was a really nice hotel. Not gonna lie. I would definitely recommend staying there. But I just can't think of the name. Anyway, so we went to this mall that was in Colorado because we got there on a Sunday. So a lot of the restaurants and stuff that I wanted to go to, or the places that I wanted to see in Colorado, were actually closed because it was a Sunday. We went to the mall with this like Meadows Peak, I think was the mall. It was like an outdoor / indoor outlet mall type situation. It was actually really cool. So definitely check that out if you're in the Denver area. There was a restaurant we went to, but I also can't think of the name. Zinzetti's, I think was the name. I don't know what that Italian restaurant was called, but it was real good. But yeah, that was our time in Denver. We didn't stay too long at any of these places. So when we left Colorado, I was still learning how to drive my car in the mountains because my car is a stick. So we're leaving Colorado. We had only stayed there for like a day. And you go around, like you go outside of Denver, and now you're going like up into these mountains. That I didn't think my car was going to like make it over the hill. And because I would drive a stick. And I didn't know you were supposed to keep it in like lower gears the entire time. And so then I saw a sign that said like trucks stay in lower gear. And I'm like, oh, maybe this applies to me. And so I dropped my gears down. And I ended up being able to make it, but like just barely. Like I switched my gears just in time to make it up this hill. So that was a crazy thing that I do remember happening. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to make it up that hill, to be really honest. But I was like, there's only one way, and it's forward, because there's too many cars behind me right now. I was slowing everybody down. Everybody on the highway hated me going up these mountains. But after Colorado, like the drive to the west from Ohio, like once you get past Colorado, it's just crazy beautiful. The landscapes and the mountains, and like it's mountains for miles until you get all the way to California. So we're leaving Denver and our next stop is Vegas, which I was pretty excited for Vegas. My brother, not so much. It's crazy. You're going over these mountains and there's this like long highway, and it's like we got there at night and you could just see where Vegas was like in the sky, because it was just like the only part over this mountain that was just completely filled with lights. So you get over this mountain and it just opens up and there's all these different lights. So Vegas was a fun time. We get up to our hotel, we stayed at the Flamingo, and there's just so many people, and there was so much going on. We went to go see the fountain at the Bellagio, and my brother got approached by these two girls that, like, you know, already wanted to take like the pictures and stuff, and instead of just continuing to walk and ignore him, he like stayed and like took the picture and was like, I don't know what to do, and it was just really funny. So if you're ever in Vegas, ignore the people. Just ignore them and keep going, because you'll end up like my brother, having to pay somebody for a picture, which was actually hilarious because I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, we didn't spend much time out on the strip though that night because I was tired and I was getting exhausted, because at this point I had driven like a total of like 16 hours. It was starting to get to me and I was like starting to like hate my life at this point. But then it was just 6 hours left to LA from Vegas. So we get in the car and we're going, and it's also crazy when you're on this drive, like each state has its like own kind of mountains. Oh, I completely missed it, like an entire part. So going from Colorado to Vegas, we had to go through like Utah, and Utah's mountains are kind of crazy, but there was this guy, I think he was Navajo, and he was selling all of these like necklaces and things, and it was really cool. It was like on one of the little view spots, like on the drive, like you can pull off the road and like take pictures and stuff, and they have it marked off. And that was really cool, to just like some guy on the road selling all this like jewelry, and I think he was a part of like the Navajo, like Native Americans. Like I think that's what he was a part of. I have a picture, so I definitely should be able to remember it. But yeah, that was actually really cool. But anyway, so we're leaving Vegas. That's where I'm at. We're leaving Vegas, and it's nothing but like desert, because like I said earlier, like each state kind of has like its own mountain range. It's really crazy to see. But as we're leaving, it's all like desert and everything. And I didn't know, because as we're getting up to California, we finally get into California, I didn't know that like the gas tanks are different. When I tried to get gas, like they have this like cover or like suction thing that you have to like fully put on your gas cap, and I couldn't like figure it out for the life of me, but eventually I figured it out. Because back in like the Midwest, you just kind of like put it on there. There's not like a cup or like a cap thing that you have to like suction onto it. I don't know what happened, but like my camera just stopped, and it has a full SD card, so I don't understand what the problem was. But anyway, yeah, once you get into California, the traffic just gets god awful. And like it was bad like in some parts of the drive, but as soon as you get into LA, traffic like I've never seen. But yeah, if you guys want to hear about the first week out here and the days after that, just you know what to do. You already know. I don't even need to say it, to be honest. You already know what to do. So I'm going to leave that one up to you guys, and I'll see you in another one.